CHAP tales. Don't you wanna hear some CHAP tales?
Hello, yes. Okay, so the Cavern. Yeah, what a great venue. All right, so I'll tell you this little story about when I played at the Cavern alongside the other Tally boys, the latter Tally boys. Me, Richard Fox on bass, Chris Horlock. I think he likes to be called Chrismatic though. And Jack Yetton on the old pots and pans at the back. Yeah, so I can't remember what company it was. I think it was something to do with some company called Emergenza, and they used to put on like band competitions and that, and we was in a couple of them. Like, yeah, God. The semi-final and final of that competition was held at the Forum in Kentish Town, and yeah, that would have been perfect for me because I've always wanted to play the old big home venue, if you like. But yeah, we never got past the quarterfinal, so yeah, got through a few rounds, got to the quarterfinals, and got slapped. Anyway, yeah, so this company, Emergenza, so also they put gigs on in certain places or whatever. And I think it was while I was at their offices talking about the old competition that I just see in the office somewhere something about the Cavern or whatever, and then just started talking to the girl who I was having a meeting about this competition with. What's all that about the Cavern? And she said, yeah, we promote the Cavern, we put bands on up there and all that. And I was like, oh wow. And she was like, well, yeah, if you can sort of sell 18 tickets and yeah, you can go up there and you can play up there and that. And I was like, 18 tickets. And the tickets were like £6 each. And well, at first I was thinking, well, if I don't sell the tickets, I'll just pay for the tickets myself and then I'll get to play at the Cavern, you know what I mean? But yeah, so let's talk about that little story. All right, so yeah, so there's the four of us in the band, and I can remember after having this meeting about the competition that we was in, I went to the next rehearsal and I sort of said, yeah, while I was in the office or whatever, I see this thing about the Cavern in Liverpool. And I asked the girl, what's the deal? What's it all about and all that? And she basically just said to me, if you can go up there with 18 fans, that's it. That's all you have to do. Sell 18 tickets, and you go up there, and you're on the bill at the Cavern. And I was like to them, like, should we do it? Do you know what I mean? We can hire a van, fill the van full of people, and go up there and play the Cavern. You know what I mean? And it's just a great experience. And yeah, they was up for it. The other band members were up for it. So we started advertising it and got quite a bit of interest from a few pals and that, because it was like, do you know what I mean? It weren't just like, come see us play at the Bull and Gate or whatever. This is like, come on, let's go. We'll take you up there in a van. My mum will make food for everyone for the journey. We got there, we have a day in Liverpool, play the gig, and then basically come back that evening. And quite a lot of people was like, yes. So tickets came through to me, and then I put out the feelers for who wanted to go. And basically on this bus there was me, Chris and Jack. Richard went up in his car with his American girlfriend. And then who else did we have? I had Angie with me. Jack had Charlotte with him. and then that's 5. And then we had Dean Chapronier. We had Dean's brother Mark. We had James Doyle. We had James's brother Barry. We had Barry's best mate Ben. And then we had Jack Yetton's girlfriend Charlotte's little mate. Can't remember her name. Who else is that? So that's about 11, isn't it? There was a couple more and I just can't think. Oh, of course. How can I forget? Asbo was with me and Amber. So that's 13. Oh, God. Yeah. I think there was 2 more people and I just can't remember. I remember the bus had 15 on it. And then you had Richard and his girlfriend, so 17 of us. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, and I'm very sorry to say that I've forgotten who the other 2 people were, but I'm sure that if I stick this on YouTube, you can write in the comments below or whatever, or you can write me about what I'm about to say, because I might get it totally wrong. I'm doing this off the cuff, like just sitting in front of the microphone and I'm just talking. I haven't made any notes, nothing. I'm just going to try and wing this as well as I can. Right, so yeah, so tickets sold, and then the date was set, and it was like a Saturday or whatever, and basically Chris was the designated driver, and I got to take my hat off to the geezer. He drove a lot that day, mate, a lot. Let's just be glad that we didn't have a tachograph or whatever, because he probably would have got done right up. Yeah, so basically Chris was living like close to Birmingham, and he drove Dan to London, to Ingester, to Kentish Town, and basically met me and Dean. So we jumped in his motor and then we flew down to this higher place in Kentish Town, just like down the bottom of Islip Street, I think, Gaceford Street, one of them, this higher place anyway. So we got there and got the van, big, dirty, massive minibus. Don't even know what make it was or whatever. I can't remember. So obviously this is past me driving, you know what I mean? I've already been said no by the optician when my old eye condition came out. But yeah, so we got down to the higher place, got the van. So Chris has jumped in the van, but he's got his motor with him. So Dean's jumped into his motor and I've jumped into his motor with Dean. Basically, we drove back to Ingester and Chris followed us in the van. Then when we got to Ingester, we parked the van up outside Dean's house and went and parked Chris's car in one of the bays or something in Ingester or whatever. I can't even remember. We might have even got off Johnny Loughran a parking permit, probably, don't know. It was a Saturday, so things ain't too tough around here on the weekends, so maybe not. Yeah, so basically we had been down to, I think it was Iceland, like the evening before or whatever, and bought a load of gear to make this mental packed lunch that my mum was going to make for us. So we just bought like 1 million loaves of bread. There was cheese, all salady stuff, crisps, drinks, crates of beer. It was mental. So my mum greatly made us this packed lunch on that Saturday morning while we was going to get the vehicle and all that sorted. So anyway, we're parked up outside Dean's house on Ingester Road. And the time came, I ain't got a clue what time it was, about 9 o'clock in the morning. We told everyone to be in Ingester. And so we was parked up, just sitting there, the 3 of us. And then people started arriving, like Dean's brother Mark turned up. Everyone everyone was there apart from, I think Amber and Asbo were a little bit late for some reason, or maybe we had to go and pick them up from their house or something. Yeah, something mental like that. So we've got this minibus full of us. Yeah. Richard and his girlfriend, we didn't even see them until we got up Liverpool, up north. So there was the 15 of us in this minibus, and it was just like, you know what I mean? Like, as we started to roll towards whatever M1 or whatever motorway we flew up north on, you just look around the bus, and I was feeling sorry for Chris, actually. I was thinking, fucking hell, you've got some nutters on this bus. Do you know what I mean? Asbo and Ben. And so we're going along, and it was at first it was like I don't know, just like this little picnicky sort of, oh hi everybody, like we was like Savinian families or something. But slowly but surely, I whacked the packed lunch out, went out to everyone on the bus, everyone's having a munch and all that, like. And then it was like 10 o'clock in the morning or whatever, and then all I hear is Adam saying, look, where's the beers? Get the beers out. So I was like, all right, sweet. Started passing the beers around the bus. And the Dean's up front with Chris, because I think James Doyle was as well, actually, because Dean was planning to do some of the driving. But then the minute Dean's heard about the beers being passed around the bus, he's like, on a beer. So that was like, it was all on Chris. You know what I mean? All the driving's put onto Chris. So so we're driving on the motorway, and slowly but surely, as the beers are getting sunk, everybody is like getting out of their trees. And it was like, I can remember Ben, he was like, yeah, I need a piss, you're gonna have to pull over, I need a piss. And Chris is like, look, I can't pull over, there's not going to be services for a good few miles, do you know what I mean? You're going to have to hold yourself. So Ben's like, fuck off, I ain't holding myself. So he whacks the window open and gets his old fella out, hangs it out the window and starts pissing out the window on and it's going all down the side of the van, all over other people's cars. Oh my god, I was just sitting there like, oh my god. And he's got all like people in their cars like just all looking like, and I was like, fucking hell, this is gonna be a fucking nightmare, isn't it? And so he's put himself away and sat back down and shut the window, but there's all piss down the side of the van. You can see it was disgusting. So glad that like someone who was behind him didn't have their window open, because they would have got a mouthful. So we carry on up to Liverpool, and we've got a stereo on, like, and I'd done some CDs, like I've done about 8 CDs of different bands and stuff, like, but Asbo was like, right, stick the Oasis CD in, and then basically it must have had 10 Oasis tunes on it, and basically Asbo made us listen to it on repeat from London to Liverpool, Oasis all the way. Should have been the Beatles, really, shouldn't it? But it was Oasis, and so we're starting to come into a city, and it's just nuts. Like, so we got into Liverpool, and then basically we had to find somewhere that we could safely put our van or minibus, so it didn't get bashed up or anything. So we drove around the city for a little while, and then we found this like private car park or whatever. You had to pay a score for the evening or whatever, and which was sweet. I think everybody just threw pound coins at Chris or whatever. So we parked the van in this car park, and then paid paid up our ticket for the evening, and then we basically asked the geezer which direction the cavern was in, and we just started walking there. And I can remember this. It was funny, right? Because Dean's brother Mark needed some money, and as we was passing some cash point, he's like of whatever bank it was, I don't know, but he stuck his card in there, and then he's like, as he's got the money in the card back or whatever, he's turned around and he was like, I can't believe it. Everyone's like, what's the matter? Have you lost your card? And he's like, no. He's like, they £5 notes. You can get £5 notes out of the cash machine. And like in London, I've only ever seen a machine that gives you a tenner minimum, you know what I mean? But yeah, Mark was like pretty astonished that you could get a £5 note out of a cash machine. I just thought I'd add that in just because it was like in my mind. Yes, and that was the first part to the Cavern tale. Yeah, no, as I said, this little story was like well over half hour, so I thought I'll give you half now and half in February. Yes, so that was the first instalment. Okay, nice one. Speak soon.
CHAP tales. Don't you wanna hear some CHAP tales?